Okay, this is part 2 of color glazing, and I know that it's part 2 because I'm struggling. And look at this, I added the gloss to my paint directly. And in my mind, I probably thought I have a lot of correcting to do at the moment. I want my paint to last for a long time. But just like by adding the matte medium to your paint, I've been having similar things happen by adding the gloss glaze liquid directly to my paint. Now, since I haven't mixed it though, it's not like that big of a deal because I could just clear it off and add the pure paint pigment on later in case it does dry on me or get clumpy. But again, I would just highly recommend not adding the gloss glaze to your paint mix, your paint or your mixtures like immediately. Just keep it off to the side, and if you need to add paint to it, do it right before you add it to your canvas. So yeah, I'm definitely struggling in this piece right now. I think my biggest problems that I'm probably feeling at the moment in time is the texture. That gloss leveling, that clear leveling gel that I added really messed with the texture of my painting. It created a separation from that layer that I loved that I painted. So now what I'm trying to do is just figure out the best way to correct. So if you can avoid correcting and just, you know, follow a process that works, that's like the ideal, right? So hopefully you take the tips that I'm giving you at the moment and can avoid a mistake like I'm doing. And here is a little bit of a note about the technique that I'm using at the moment. I add paint in, highlights, and then I soften it immediately after applying it down with a blending brush. So there's a blending brush, and by adding a little bit of paint in and softening it, you're not getting those harsh lines, but you're getting a little bit of faux texture added, like pores or wrinkles. You could do the same thing for. Now it appears that I'm using a smaller filbert brush. Filbert is sort of like a flat but rounded on the top. And I'm just adding in some darker valued glazes, kind of like a reddish, it appears, like I think that is something that I lost when I did that leveling gel and the blue paint from the hoodie mixed in and just kind of created this blue, like, it almost appears, I don't know if you remember, it appeared like a frosty layer over his face. And I know for a fact too that because that paint was not wet completely, but it was slightly dried and got into that leveling gel, it made the leveling gel so much more clumpy. I wanted to say clumpier, but I'm not sure if that's the right word. I'm finally working a little bit on the ear, so it's no secret here that I struggle with ears, and if I can avoid painting them, I will. You'll notice in my work that I'll try to usually like have hair come over the ears, and that is because that is something I struggle with, and it takes me a long time to work to like mentally wrap my head around the shape of the ear, and I would rather just move on to things that I really like want to work on. So because ears are so easily hidden, most of the time I cover it up, to be honest. Okay, so at the moment I'm adding some highlights to the eyebrows. Eyebrows can be a little tricky, and my trick for doing eyebrows is a little bit of a back and forth where you You can either do it where you like kind of lay in your darkest value first, and then later after it dries, you can go in with the flesh tone color and do kind of a reverse eyebrow where you add in the skin. Or you can just kind of keep it like there's no eyebrows and then add each layer individually, each thing individually, but that kind of looks a little bit bad at times because it appears that they're just like individual hairs. And there is a shadow underneath that. It was a little bit darker on the eyebrow. So we'll talk about that more in the next video though. And whoa, I can't believe it. We're actually moving on to our 7th video, which is the last one in here. So hopefully we can get all this information in right away. Okay, I'll see you soon.